Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Thanks for coming by today. I'm just going to do a little reading update because it's been a little while. And so we're going to talk about what I've been reading basically for this past week. Today is Saturday the 23rd. Happy first day of fall, y'all. Autumn is finally here. We're excited. Alrighty, so yeah, like I said, going to just chat about what I've been reading this past week. The first couple of weeks of the month I've documented in some reading vlogs. I'll link them below. The first week was talking about, I was reading carnival, circus, and clown themed books. Had a really fun time with that. And then the second week, I spent some time reading like Wandering from 17, and I really had fun with that one. And I appreciate support for that vlog because I didn't know how it would do, and I've gotten above average views for that one. So maybe some K-pop people have been watching it, but anyway, I'm happy with that vlog. So I will link those below. Like I said, I could talk, and if you want to see what the first half of the month was like. But like I said, I'm repeating myself, but we're gonna talk about what I've been reading this past month. And really, I've been digging into my Shorty September books, and a little bit for Space Opera September also. So yeah, let's jump right in, shall we? Okay, so I hit my camera. I did finish, or started finish rather, The Outsiders by SE Hinton. I did pull this up on audiobook, and this was really, really great. So this is for Shorty September. The, what's the prompt? Denim Shorts, the modern classic. I would say this is definitely a modern classic. And this is lovely. I think even, this is a movie I've seen a good bajillion times growing up, all these characters. It felt so familiar. And really the movie follows the story in here pretty well, I think. But you're from the perspective of Pony Boy, who is about, I think it's about 14 or 15 or so, and he lives with his two brothers. His parents have died in a car crash. So, and this is, what was the year of this takes place anyway? I don't know if it actually says the year, but this was written in the 60s. So I don't know if it's supposed to be like in the time period of the 60s. It always felt maybe a little earlier than that. Anyway. And it just is talking about, being a teenager here, and really, of course, the class, sort of separation of the haves and have-nots in this town, because there's the greasers, which are, the poor kids, and then the socias, right, who are the upper class, all the kids that have money, and they're getting to tussles a lot. So, but it really is about found family, friendship, and love, and these preconceived notions that you have of people just because of kind of where they live and how they dress, that kind of thing. It was wonderful. It really was. And yeah, I'm so glad to have finally read it. And oh my gosh, how much do we love Pony Boy? I just think he's a fantastic character. Seeing this story from Pony Boy, I think, was the perfect way to tell the story. Because he's just a wonderful character. So yeah, I loved The Outsiders. It's wonderful. It was really wonderful. Okay. I think I even teared up a little bit. Let's see. I got to Cherry Magic Volume 1. I finally got to Cherry Magic. Y'all, I love this so much. Oh my god, because I read this for the Shorty September prompt. Which one was it? Oh, Hoochie Daddy's Shorts, which was a spicy read. And it wasn't quite spicy yet. Maybe later volumes get maybe a little bit spicier. But there is just a really sweet little love story going on in here. It's an office romance. And that's developing between these two guys here. And so this guy right here, Adachi, that's right, I'm trying to remember his name, is a 30-year-old virgin. And he's, in here, when you're 30 and you get these magical powers if you're still a virgin and you're 30. And so when he touches someone, he can kind of like hear their thoughts, which, could be a good or bad thing. So he touches this guy, and he's getting a little vibe, you know what I mean? So maybe they like each other. And so it's just in this volume, you know, they're getting to know each other a little bit. They're kind of went out for a meal, that kind of thing. But it's just so sweet. Oh my god, I love it so much. I love mangas like this. I love little sweet little romance mangas. I can't help it. I love it. And I have bought volume 2 because I've got to know what happens next. And I love it. I love it. It's just adorable. All right. Having to edit out some coughs probably because I probably sound a little froggy because I'm dealing with a little sinus issue this week, and then you get that post-nasal drip, and then it gets in your chest and you're coughing. Yeah, that's fun. Look at my new mug I got from Spirit Halloween. It's Beetlejuice. I love it. It needed to come on with me. All right, so next up, another manga. I've been reading a few mangas this week. Volume 1, a lot of volume 1s. Volume 1, finally, of Miss Kazumi Loves Ramen Noodles. Yo, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with this with this manga. I love it. I didn't realize it was my possibly a little love story too. So I'm excited. So Miss Kazumi, this is like I think these girls are in like high school. I don't know why they call her Miss Kazumi, but whatever. She seems like, I think she's like new to school. And this girl is just kind of obsessed with her because Miss Kazumi's really pretty, and she's just really, there's something about her, right? And so she kind of starts following her around a little ways and realizes how often she goes to eat ramen at different places. Like, she's obsessed with ramen. And so she's trying to like get obsessed with ramen to just try to become her friend. She just wants to be her friend. Like, can I just hang out with you, And but Miss Kazumi is a little standoffish, honestly. Maybe sometimes a bit even kind of rude, and but I think there's something going on with Miss Kazumi. So about this ramen obsession and why she's behaving like she is. So I've immediately bought volumes 2 and 3 to find out what's going on because I'm obsessed. And if you are a ramen person, let me tell you, there's just it, and you actually learn a bit about ramen, about different styles of ramen. Look how beautiful it's drawn. It's just if you like food mangas, of course, because look, there's another bowl. I'm obsessed. I love ramen, first of all. So yeah, I love this. I love this book. Okay, so this is for Mom Shorts, for Shorty September prom, a comfort read, because I thought reading about ramen would be comforting, and it really is, and it was a super sweet story. And yeah, I need the other volumes. Okay, so then for Shorty September, I read My So-Called Life, this novelization of the TV series, and really it condenses like everything kind of down, and not everything, well, about the season into this, like it's just over 200 pages. And this was just amazing. This was totally nostalgic, total blast from the past, reading about Angela Chase. And can I just say, I'm almost 46 years old. I'll be 46 next month in October. How much I still identify with Angela Chase. Like, this, My So-Called Life, perfectly captured what it was like to be a teenager, a teenage girl in particular, but it deals with two guys too, but girl in particular, in the 90s. I mean, it was perfection, and it's really too bad that it only lasted one season. I mean, it's really such a shame, as I would love to just see more. Anyway, so if you're a fan of My So-Called Life, you will absolutely love this. I mean, I don't know how do I tab My So-Called Life book, but I did. Because there would be some lines, and they are still just profound, and I just was like, yes, and I still feel this way, about just, like I said, how perfectly it captures, and I don't know. It's just amazing. It was just amazing, and I loved it so much. I loved it so much, and yes. So this was, of course, for the half and half shorts, where you read an adaptation and watch something. So I haven't watched an episode yet. I'm gonna try to fit that in for the end of the month, though. But I can't say anything else. It was just perfect. It was just perfect. Okay, what's next? Okay, then dug into the Ascender comics. I've read volume 1. Make sure these are in order. Volume 2. Volume 3. Volume 4. Yeah, so I love this. This was, of course, the continuation of the Descender comics. So you definitely want to read Descender first before reading Ascender. But these are beautiful. 5 stars. I love this story. I love Descender, and I loved how it continued in Ascender. Perfection. So this is, of course, written by Jeff Lemire. Artwork is by Dustin Nguyen. The artwork in here is what always bumps these to 5 stars. It is so stunningly beautiful that I'm blown away every time I read them. It's these gorgeous, even if you just tell on this cover, these gorgeous like watercolors, which are sometimes a real, there's a simplicity to the color, or to the, to the artwork, but it's also just like absolutely flippin' gorgeous at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but see, like this, even just this, like the coloring itself, like the painting of the, if you know anything about watercolor, there is it's simple, that it's simplistic, but look at the, the facial expression that was in the drawing. I don't know, I can't even explain it. It's just gorgeous colors. I mean, there'll be pages that are just, look at that. Shut up. It's stunning. I love it so much. But so this picks up 10 years after the events of Descender, and we're following one of the characters from that, and I don't want to spoil it, but they're his daughter, essentially. And what's going on now is really different. There's almost like a fantastical sort of twist on this story, where some magic has been brought into this, and yeah, I don't know, it's super interesting. There is space travel in here, because they're on a planet when it opens up, but they have to get off planet quickly and stuff like that. So so there's definitely some space travel in here. So I definitely worked for Space Opera September, and it's just stunning. Read Descender. For me, they are just perfection of a sci-fi graphic novel series. It's just enough said. I love it so much. Okay. All right. What's next? Oh, it's another manga. It's another little romance manga. It is. I love this one too. This one's called Doughnuts Under a Crescent Moon. And it's actually another workplace romance. Like I said, I'm in my workplace romance time period. So we got these 2 characters, and I actually this was really good. So this is she's like our main character, Uno. That's right, Uno, Sato. Uno and Sato. I have to remember their names. Now they work in, like I said, this sort of office setting, and she is really trying to like fill this role of what sort of, kind of a modern working day woman is supposed to be, with her perfect makeup and her perfect clothing and her perfect hair. She's spending all this money on this stuff, but she's still like really unfulfilled, and she's trying to date men so she can get a husband, that kind of stuff, because that's kind of what she seems like she's supposed to be doing, all this kind of stuff. But there is this attraction to Mrs. Sato, and I love it. There's a thing with donuts in here, so another kind of food thing too. And she lives differently, because she's got other things going on in her life. She's taking care of her young sister, stuff like that. Like, she doesn't have time to kind of worry about, having the perfect clothes and things like that. She's got other priorities. And so I think, things are just happening here. It's slow burn, and we're, there's nothing been going on lately, but they're just getting to know each other and hanging out, things like that. I'm loving it so much. I already have volume 2 of this one also. So I picked these up at McKay's secondhand when I was there last month or so, or whatever it was. Anyway, I don't know. I love it. So this one I used for the later Hosen prompts for Shorty September for translated work, because of course the mangas are translated. I have not been doing the translator information. I'm sorry, I usually do that. So this is, and this is, the story and art is by Shuo Usui, and translated by Jenny McKeon. So I love it so much. Okay, next up, I read a short story. Oops. I read Shooting Star by Joe R. Lansdale, just a really little short story that we got in one of the Nightworms this summer sometime. And this was really fun, actually. We start off, there's these people that are riding on a train, and something comes and strikes the train, and this might be aliens. It turns a bit weird, and they're trying to get away from people. Kind of almost like the Thing vibe too, a little bit. I don't know. This was really fun. I ain't gonna say too much else because this is a short story, but it was a lot of fun. It's a nice kind of reminiscent of kind of older kind of sci-fi type of story, and the feeling of it. Really interesting characters. Yeah, I just had a lot of fun with this, so I really enjoyed that. I used this for Ripped Shorts, which was a mystery or a slasher, and yeah, it's kind of a thrilling kind of, kind of story. Not straight up slasher necessarily, but I think if it's the prop, good enough. So yay, I liked that. That was so fun. So I'm talking about Shorty September. You might not even know what I'm talking about. Shorty September is hosted by Sean and Bort over at Story Time, and Heather over at Soggy X Pack Book Nerd, where you read short books in the summertime, and they have fun prompts that are based off of shorts. It's fun. It's super fun. So I'll link them below. Yeah. Okay. Okay, what's next? I did finally finish that poetry collection that I started in my Reading Like Wanu vlog, No Flower Blooms Without Wavering by Jong-Hwan Do. Just some really, like I said, beautiful lyrical poetry, a lot about sort of relationships, love lost, a lot of nature imagery. It was lovely. I enjoyed it. I don't know much about poetry, but I enjoyed it to the best of my ability. Okay, so a couple of audiobooks to kind of end the day or end the week with. Let me think, yes. So I did pick up the audiobook for Almond by Sohn, and I forgot to write down the translator for this. Oh no, translated by Sandy Chosun Lee. I did write it down. Look at me. So this has been on my list for a little while now. I've been wanting to get into it, and I've been in I was actually in kind of an audiobook slump this week. I started and stopped several things. Nothing was grasping me, you know what I mean? So I looked for a couple of short things in kind of honor of Shorty September. Almond, I think, is maybe 5 hours or less. It's really short. And so I was like, you know what, let me try this one. And yeah, this one caught me, so I did finish it out. So basically we're following this kid. He's a young kid at first. And Yunjae is his name. And he is, so I'm trying to how to describe this. He has this sort of thing, it's called something, I wrote it down. Alexithymia, whatever like that, is kind of the diagnosis he has been giving, where he can't really feel things. He doesn't feel emotions like a lot of people, and so yeah, some people he just maneuvers through life differently, right? Some people think he's just really cold and unfeeling, which, I mean, I guess in a way, yes, but it's not like he's purposefully doing it, right? So there's things like, it opens up the very first thing in the book, he's a young boy, maybe like 8 or 9 or so, and he sees this kid literally get beat to death by these bullies, and because he's not feeling this like, feeling of like, oh gosh, something's really terrible is happening. So he does go try to tell someone that this kid's getting beaten up in the alley back here, but because he's not expressing this emotion, I mean, no one gets there in time to save him, that kind of thing. So, and I don't know. So this is just kind of his life, So his mom, he lives with his mom and his grandmother, and his mom, tries to give him these sort of like coping mechanisms to, how he should be acting, or just to try to, try to adapt, so he's not seemed so strange and weird. And what's so fun is his mom runs a used bookstore too, so there's like a bookstore going on in here, which is so fun. Excuse me. And what throws a little wrench into the situation is when he's kind of a teenager, his mom and his grandmother get like brutally attacked. His grandmother ends up dying, and his mom is just in a coma, like was severely beaten, almost to death. And so he's left on his own, and so there's this bully at school situation too. There's a little love story that comes in, which is so cute, and he is trying to kind of figure out things now because he's in high school now, of learning to, I think, first be comfortable with who he is, like this is who he is kind of thing, but then also like other people kind of learning to be comfortable around him. I think especially this bully, who they kind of eventually become kind of this weird friendship between them, and then like I said, the little romance that starts to bloom is really cute. And there's like another adult character who he kind of connects with, who like runs a bakery kind of like next door to the bookstore that he's still trying to run it, because his mom's in the hospital and stuff like that. Anyway, that seems like a convoluted kind of way of talking about this story, but it was really lovely. And I think just talking about sort of human emotions and how much we depend on that as far as like sort of natural expression of that. And so when someone doesn't react the way that we think they're supposed to, like we just automatically think they're so weird, that kind of thing. And a lot of this exploration of that, really kind of a coming of age kind of story too. I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I don't know if I talked about it good enough but it was really good. It was really, 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 really good. And yeah, it's just, so glad that I finally read that one. Okay. So last up that I finished is Follow Me to Ground by Sue Rainsford. Okay, this one is weird. Okay, add it to your Week of Weird list because I really liked this one. Again, it's like a 5 hours or less audiobook. It's one that had been on my radar for a little while too. I can remember hearing about it kind of when it first came out. It was definitely a little bit buzzy, and it has a like stunningly gorgeous cover too. And so it's definitely, like I said, been in my list, and I was looking for something short, so this fit the bill. And this was really great, and like I said, just super bizarre. So we have this father and daughter who the daughter's name's Ada. So they are like healers in a way in sort of this kind of small community, and they provide provide cures to the sort of normal people. Like these Ada and her father, they're not like normal real people, you know what I mean? Like they're different. They kind of come from the ground, they come from the earth, and I don't know, they're just weird. They don't age the same, and there's something about the actual ground, the earth itself, like around their house. And so like I said, people come to them to get cures, and sometimes and they have this thing where they sort of like go into someone's body, and let's say there's like a tumor or something in their chest or something, so they like go into the body and kind of like literally kind of suck it out almost and then the tumor is like physical outside of the body, and then that's then given to the ground, right? And sometimes, like if it's a real kind of severe sort of healing, or like something extra needs to be done, they'll actually bury the people in the ground in the backyard. So they'll like sleep for like 3 days in the ground, and then they dig them back up. I don't like it's really interesting and strange. Yeah. So so there's also these kind of other characters, particularly Samson and Olivia. They're like a brother and sister. Samson is kind of like having a little relationship with Ada, but there's something weird going on with Samson too, and there's just things going on. And I just really liked this. It was very strange, really bizarre, but really just super interesting. If you like kind of stuff like that, I think you'll like it. And I like the way it was told. So you will get like. Most of it was kind of from Ada's perspective, of course. She's our main character, but then like there'd be these little snippets in between kind of the chapters of like like the other people, like the people that come to get cures, and they talk about Ada and her father, like, oh yeah, Ada, they were always really great. We went to them so many times and they helped us, and they kind of just, it was these little stories kind of dispersed throughout the book to kind of flesh out kind of what's going on and kind of thing like that. So it was just really good, you guys. And then I know the ending was like really good. So I don't know, I really liked it. I really liked it. Just a really just fun, strange little story. So yes, enjoyed that quite a lot. I think that's all that I have finished. I am making my way through Nine of Swords by Brooklyn Quintano. I am not making as much progress as I thought I would by now, but that's okay. I'm gonna really try to get a chunk done this weekend. I'm really enjoying this. This is a fantasy school setting, but not super fantastical, because there's not a whole lot of magic going on in here. Anyway, I'll talk about when I'm done and everything, and I'll do a review for it. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm trying to read like a chapter or two a day. It's kind of how I'm making my way through that one. Let me think. I think that's it. Yes. So that's kind of been my week. So today, like I said, today is Saturday the 23rd. So tomorrow we start Week of Weird. So I'm digging right into my weird stuff starting tomorrow. So I don't know that I'll start any. I definitely have not gotten to everything that I had on my Shorty September list, but that's okay. It's fine. I'm just reading what I'm reading, you know what I'm saying? I am actually still reading the Welcome to the Funhouse anthology. Still enjoying that. And one of their stories I recently read was really good. So I'm just making my way slowly through that one, enjoying that also. I think that's it now. So, alrighty, guys, let me know how your week's been going. What you read? Are you doing Shorty September? Let me know what you've been getting into for the week. What you've been reading. What you've been watching. What you've been listening to. I wanna know. Yeah. So that's gonna do it for me. Hope you're doing well. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.